What are you doing? This is Chuck.
Oh, we're recording? Anyways.
We just, yes. Chuck and Chris here. I don't know what he's doing. It is 12:38 a.m. Officially February the 11th. And we just got out of the 25th anniversary 4K 3D screening of Titanic. We are pretty much in the parking lot all by ourselves. We walked out of the theater. It was empty. It was kind of scary. We actually got in. We got in the theater. It was about 45 minutes early, so we were like the first ones in, and we were the last ones to leave.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. we stayed with the sinking ship. So the big thing about this was Chris is very excited to see this movie on the big screen. He's only seen it, was it twice before?
I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember anymore.
I know he saw it once, but I know we actually watched it all together once, so at least twice.
Yeah.
And that's only on DVD and on TV. So this is the first time I got to see it in the theater. So what'd you think?
Yeah.
He nods his head a lot. He hasn't really seen
Yeah.
that. Yeah. What's?
It's good.
It's good.
It will hold up till the end of time.
As far as being, what was it, 4K 3D? I mean, it looked like it always has to me. And I've seen the movie when originally came out in '97. At that time, I probably saw it 7 or 8 times in the theater because I kept going over. I'm one of the people that contributed to that box office because I kept going over and over again. So I love this movie. And the last time I did see it was when they released the IMAX 3D some years back, which I have to say, honestly, I think the 3D in the IMAX was better than the 3D here. I think the 3D on this was extremely subtle. You really, you kind of saw it, you saw some depth, probably more so towards like the sinking than throughout the film. Really, it was like hardly noticeable.
Like the only real noticeable part I could see was in the title card.
The title card looks like that. We're only, a couple times you can see like depth. You see like obviously people passing or different again the range of depth through certain things. But for the most part, that 3D is very, very subtle. And when I saw it in the IMAX, now maybe it's because the IMAX is a much bigger screen. And also, when I saw it in IMAX, it was formatted differently. It wasn't formatted like here. It was the regular 235 wide. Aspect. Sorry, I'm about to hit Chris in the face. Yeah, whereas when the IMAX, they actually converted it to the full IMAX screen, which is unusual for a lot of movies. When they put them on IMAX, they still show them wide. They're just on the big screen, but they actually adjusted it to the IMAX format, so it's kind of cropped a bit. But the 3D really stuck out when I saw it in the IMAX. Here it was okay. It wasn't, it could have, might as well have seen honestly 2D, which is fine. This movie doesn't need 3D.
It's good enough as is.
Yeah, the 3D obviously is a gimmick to get you back in, but I don't think it needs that. I know James Cameron, he loves his 3D with Avatar, whatever. But like I said, this movie doesn't need the 3D. Like I said, the 4K, I guess it was better. I don't know. It looked pretty good. It wasn't, it looked good. Couldn't tell you a difference. Yeah. Interesting. I think we were the only father-son duo to go see Titanic tonight. There were a lot of women.
I didn't see a single.
There were a couple guys, some guys that were drugged there by their wives.
I didn't see or
girlfriends. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any other father-son.
No, there were no other boys, just women and the men who were drugged there. Men. Yeah, they were there, and you could tell they were drugged. One guy I think was asleep. I went to the restroom in one point, and of course the seats reclined back, and he was like curled up and his jacket over, and he was passed out. So yeah, but and again, it was a 9 o'clock show, so that's the only one that was available. So like I said, it's almost 1 o'clock. We're just getting out, but it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend if you see that if you love Titanic, go check it out. If you've only seen it on VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray, definitely go check it out while it's in theaters now. And it's hard to believe it's been 25 years.
I know.
12.
I don't know. It's just normal.
Yeah, I was there when it came out.
I'm sorry, I was more like years late.
Yeah.
So
but
weird.
it's so weird. I remember the hype around it when in 96. I actually remember, 96 when I saw like the poster for it in theaters, and everyone was talking about it was gonna be a bomb because it was so expensive, and figured all this is gonna be a flop. It's gonna make all this money, and it was supposed to come out in the summer, and they got pushed back because they had to reshoots or whatever, and it was gonna be a total disaster. And then it ended up being huge and being the biggest movie and selling movie of all time. To that up until I think Avatar actually topped it, I believe.
Which Avatar though?
The original one, yeah. I believe it was Avatar, which is James Cameron film also.
Yeah.
And of course, if you didn't know, Avatar was the first film he directed since Titanic. And so Titanic came out in '97, and Avatar was like 2009, 2010. So he didn't direct a movie at that point. And then the movie that just came out, the second Avatar, it's the first movie he's directed since the last Avatar. So he has these huge gaps in between films,
Yeah,
at least recently.
I can tell.
Unless you count Ghost of the Abyss. I don't know if I can't care if he directed that or not, but I know obviously he probably did. It was a film, but that was his Titanic. He's been down on Titanic a billion times. He has a Titanic fetish, but understandable. He's looking it up right now. What are you looking at? You looking at who directed Ghost of the Abyss? And we did a video on this like a year or so ago, or last year for the sinking, and we can't remember that. We're terrible.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so technically he directed that at Titanic and then before Avatar. So
Still a huge gap.
Yeah. And I know it's popular for a lot of people to not like Titanic because for whatever reason, but heck with that. I enjoy it. I love the hell out of this movie. Now I'm hit and miss with a lot of James Cameron films. I like all of his other stuff. I mean, obviously Terminator is great. Terminator 2 is fantastic. True Lies is really good. I don't like The Abyss. People love The Abyss. Abyss is really boring to me. I had the same feeling, honestly, with Avatar. I'll probably get a lot of hate for that. I do. I get a lot of hate for that.
Hot take.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a hot take, honestly, because I find that it's actually a very divisive movie. I don't want to get too deep in it, but I just didn't care for Avatar. It was long. I mean, it was pretty. I've said it before. Avatar is really pretty. And then I have no interest in the characters. I didn't care for any of the characters in it. The movie it drug on and on and on, and I saw it twice. I sat there twice. The first time I was kind of half asleep, so I wasn't into it. The second time I gave it a second shot, and it didn't fare any better. It's kind of how I felt about The Abyss, and which is funny because the thing about The Abyss and Avatar is they have in common, besides being long and dull, is that they're cutting edge in the technology that for film, because The Abyss has this great visual effects in early CG, which helped him do Terminator 2, which is a fantastic movie, one of the best sequels ever made. And then of course Avatar, it really pushed the 3D technology, which he's trying to do again, which will probably be a resurgence. I was just telling Chris they'll probably re-release this on 3D 4K Blu-ray, or if that's even possible. So and they'll probably release that Avatar or Way of Water in Blu-ray 3D again, which is just dying out. I mean, it's still out there like foreign markets, but they'll probably put it out too. So Cameron, he's always pushing. So credit for that. But I digress, as I often do. So, any big takeaways from seeing the film compared to your time seeing it on the TV screen as opposed to seeing it here?
Bigger screen.
This is true. It's funny because prior to them releasing, we just got the home theater, the projection and all that, and the 120-inch screen. I was like, yeah, we're going to watch Titanic on a big screen. Not long after that, they released it in theater. So
it's being like 4K and stuff. Dad got actually got a 4K version of Sonic 2, And then he returned that, and then when we moved, he got the projector which recorded 4K.
Yeah, I bought
4K.
yeah I bought Sonic 2, and I thought I was getting a Blu-ray. I thought I was getting a 4K Blu-ray combo.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was strictly a 4K or a Blu-ray, because most of this are a combo. That in that case, yeah. So at the time I didn't have a 4K player, so I said I got to return it to get the Blu-ray. Of course, since that time I bought a 4K player and 4K projector. So oops, hindsight being what it is. Okay. Any other? Okay. What is your overall thoughts on the movie itself? Not necessarily just this viewing or whatever, but just what do you like about the movie, or what appeals to you about the movie, other than I know your fascination with all things Titanic, like myself.
The action's great. The romance between Jack and Rose is nice, and something. Oh.
That's okay. 12-year-old is saying the romance is cool. That's 12-year-old boy. That's pretty good. Most people's like, oh, that's yucky stuff. I want this, shit break and fall apart. That's what I want. But no, he's like, that's really good. That's pretty good. And yes, he saw the whole thing. I didn't. It's all tasteful. It's fine. So, very, very well done. So yeah, you thought the romance was good, and the characters. Well, yeah. I always thought that Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio had excellent chemistry in this film. They did another movie together later on called, I think it was Revolutionary Road, which I thought was awesome because they had such great chemistry, and the movie wasn't that great. It's kind of sad, but this one, they've got fantastic chemistry. And I've said before, Kate Winslet is a very beautiful woman, but something about her as Rose in Titanic, I don't think she's ever looked more beautiful. That's not because she's obviously I was 97, this is 2022. She's still a very beautiful woman now. Older, more mature one, but I think something about that, I think just the way the costume, the lighting, whatever they did, just made her look, almost angelic in her beauty was just great. And that, and I have a small thing for redheads. What can I say? Don't worry about that right now. But yeah. And what do you think about Billy Zane? You like Billy Zane? He was a cow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. He was Rose's fiance.
Yeah.
Fiance, yeah. Yeah, Billy Zane's great. The movie you ought to see with Billy Zane is Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. He plays a villain. He's hilarious. He's very good in that movie. Of course, Bill Paxton, who's I can't remember his name. The guy looking for the heart of the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay,
the leader. Yeah. Of the expedition.
Yeah. He's passed away. If you knew that or not. Yeah, he suddenly, actually, it was a few years back. He had suddenly passed away. It was kind of sad, but he did a lot of James Cameron films. He was in Terminator. There's a couple other things that his bit part in Terminator. But he's also one of the big films that he's in that I know you've seen. At least remember, it was Twister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Carol loves Twister. She absolutely loves Twister because he's a Titanic freak. She's a tornado freak. It's weird. Anyway, we're rambling. It's 12:51 in the morning. We're sitting in the car letting it warm up.
We're like 13 minutes in, almost 14.
Yeah. So we rambled on enough. But anyways, so that is it. Again, 25th anniversary, Titanic, 4K, 3D. Check it out. You'll have a good time. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So until next time, this is was supposed to be a quick video. It's 14 minutes, not too quick. So, this is Chuck.
Chris.
And we will see you on the other side.
Is that a bottle over there?